Hi there. Welcome to this week's High Heels to Happy Feels episode. I'm Natalie,
I'm Stephanie.
and today we're going to be diving deep. And we are just past the summer solstice, which is that time that's traditionally connected to the radiance and manifestation and joy and all things bright. But today we're going to be shining a light on the part of it that most spiritual spaces skip. And that's the part where the growth could feel a little brutal. And we've got some experience with that this week.
Woof. Yeah, we do.
This is where expansion can ache, where trusting the universe really feels like you're falling apart before you're feeling held by it. And if that's where you are not doing it wrong. And it's really crazy because we've been told in this world that we live in and kind of sold the whole sanitized or polished version of how to do awakening, the vision boards, the crystals, aligned planners, just trust the process, just align your energy, stay high vibe, like all of those things. And I know you've heard it because
We hear it.
yeah, and we're in it all the time.
Yeah.
But the real growth, it's often like the 2 a.m. panic attack or an anxiety spiral or a heart attack, a job you've outgrown, but you still show up to, or your old identities crumbling away, even friendships that quietly fall away
Yep.
and you don't even get closure out of them.
No.
But it's a version of you dying long before the new one's ready. So we're kind of being shoved into that liminal space. But you're feeling like maybe you're losing yourself before you even know who's coming next. So let me say it clearly and with truth. Growth does not have to look to like be graceful or divine or this big aha moment.
Yeah.
Your soul, it doesn't need you to look okay to perform peace. It needs you to tell the truth about where you really are, and it needs you to be honest. So let's jump into some astrology because we're starting to leave that friction area. Um, the main theme, a powerful push and pull. And on one side, we have a huge cluster of planets like nurturing, sensitive, all kind of sitting in Cancer together. And that's making us all want to focus on home and family and emotional security. And it's a call to go inward and really kind of get cozy.
Oh man, I can totally get on board with that. But you said there's a push and pull.
Hmm.
So what's pushing us back, especially after we're coming out of all those squares last week?
Right? Um,
That's the fiery.
that's the fiery energy of Aries throughout the week. The sun in Cancer is getting hit with some tense aspects or squares, which I swear we just left a lot of squares.
Right? There's only minimal squares this week. We looked, we're like, oh, that's a lot of trines and sextiles. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
So we're coming out of some squares, and these are the planets from Aries. And first from Saturn, the planet of discipline and responsibility, then from Neptune, the planet of dreams and illusion.
Wow. So it's like we're getting a reality check and we're being lost in the fog at kind of the same time.
Exactly. It's the cosmic crucible designed to help us mature. We can't escape into fantasy because of Saturn's demand, but we also can't ignore the deep spiritual questions that Neptune is raising. The pressure is
Yeah.
really to build our more authentic and responsible sense of self.
And it sounds kind of intense. I mean, is there really much help for us to navigate all of this as we go forward this week? And we'll talk a little more about this too, but just thinking about the general.
Yeah, well, there is, and it's our own secret weapon for this week. Mars is in practical and methodical Virgo. Mars is forming a really beautiful, helpful connection to the other planets in Cancer. So that's going to give us all kind of a productive outlet for all of this emotional energy. And the message is when in doubt, do something tangible.
I love it. I love it. So you're saying cleaning my house, maybe organizing my schedule could actually balance out my spiritual week, or a 21-day journey reset. We just started that today.
Yes, we did. We're getting our drinks in there. And you got it. You got it. All of that healing through doing the small practical acts will be incredibly grounding and help bring order to any of that inner chaos.
All right, so maybe we should talk about how this is going to play out day by day. Because the week definitely starts with the challenging part. And Sunday, that's going to bring that sun Saturn square. So we might feel blocked or just a dip in confidence. And then Monday, we follow with the sun square or the sun Neptune square and bringing little confusion, a little fogginess, right? Which is
Mhm.
very normal for a square kind of moment. It's not a great time though for big decisions.
So when does the energy start to shift for the better?
So,
Come on.
right? All right. So Tuesday, we have a turning point. We have the most beautiful aspect of the week. So the sun conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. So both are in Cancer, is what conjunct is talking about right here, right? So, oof, massive cosmic blessing of generosity. We got optimism. We got emotional growth. But a quick heads up on this, conversations could feel super sensitive. Cancer, hello.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and Mercury squares the wounded healer and Chiron.
So a day of big heartedness and gentle communication. I know we're going to be crossing the new moon this week. How does that play into it?
So the new moon also in Cancer on Wednesday. So
Mm.
again,
That's that big Cancer combination we were talking about.
yes, ma'am, a big emotional reset button for the month, right? So if you're feeling like you just want to be home and ugh, it's super powered moment, right? Set intentions around your house, family, what truly makes you feel secure.
And the second half of the week.
All right. So from Thursday on, and we should share that Natalie's birthday is the end of next week. So we kind of had to do a little extra deep dive there. So grab some of the what's the word I'm looking for? The asteroids that we don't normally, or not just the asteroids, the really big outer planets that are not normally included.
Mhm.
Those I included just for Friday. But it's all systems go the end of this week because Thursday we're just like, aha, breakthrough, right? Mercury connects with Uranus and our communication. We also get that big dose of like creativity, and that's Mercury moving into Leo because Leo's a lion, baby.
Yeah, that courageous lion that's
Yes,
standing on stage performing. I am
yes,
so glad to hear about this energy, but it sounds like the end of the week is kind of the reward of
yeah,
getting through everything, like especially the beginning of the week.
right. It is. And happy birthday to you. Friday's because Friday is the birthday,
Hmm.
and it's all about um what we'll call the architecture of confidence. So Mercury in Leo gets a supportive high five from the structured Saturn. Then we are making it a perfect day to solidify our plans on those creative ideas. Saturday, we've got the grand finale because we've got a grand fire trine forming
Wow.
between Mercury, Saturn, and Neptune. What that ultimately means is a grand fire trine is we have Mercury, and I believe as I looked at those other planets, where they are aligned, all of those planets are fire elements. And so when you look at it, and Mercury is trine one, or is trine one, trine another, and then the other two are here. So it didn't do a triangle. You'd have to go look it up. I'm happy to talk to you about it anytime. But
So it's going to be
ultimately,
an amazing moment.
lots of fire energy. Yes. Yes.
So the harmonious flow of energy that connects our confidence,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And
And creative voice and getting that practical structure or inspiration. It's just an incredible gift of the harmonious expression, like you mentioned. Lots of stuff. It's just the end of the week is a
well, yeah, and we're in that week, we're facing those early challenges. So it's going to be incredibly enlightening to end the week on such a positive note.
yes, 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 yes. So we're going to go through a little bit larger, and I did take some notes here, so kind of bear with me as I shift around. But the end of the week wanted to get a little deeper. And so
Yeah, yeah.
Natalie's like, just run with it, right? And talk about this because,
It's
yeah,
it's a lot.
right? And just one person. So the journey this week, it's a metaphor for tending to the soul. So we're beginning in the choppy, the water, the emotional, where you think of Cancer. It's our need for safety is challenged, and it's met by the demands of the chaos and confusion of the world. Well, we at our own spirit, we know that very, very well.
Yeah.
And coming out of this last week, it's gonna feel like a relief to just self-care and take care of yourself.
So it's good that we're going to be in Cancer with all of these. That
Yes,
it's almost like the universe planned that we're going
yes,
to land in Cancer and have that soft home
right,
wrap around you.
right. Here's a pillow. Land softly, love. Yeah,
Right.
totally. Oh my God. So we're going to navigate these. We don't want to abandon ship. we enjoy the water. We're enjoying the water and navigating it, not abandoning. But you got hard work ahead. And that's our Saturn. And then we've got, charting that course of Neptune, which is all the ooh and the intuition. And then you got Mars and Virgo. So by the end of the week, you're creative, you're tasking, you're going to be doing a lot of those types of things and ready to build something that's really new and lasting. The central lesson is security. It's that deep, unshakable piece of the Cancerian ideal, which is not a fortress we hide inside, but it's that sacred fire. And so there we are again with fire. And that's Aries and Vesta, which I'd mentioned touching a few different planets for Nat's birthday, and Vesta was one. And we had to tend to ourselves. It's dedicated work and being courageous, structured in some capacities because of like the Saturn and the Virgo and some of the little bit of the Mars playing into those, and then heart-centered expression. So we have a few actionable recommendations for you. And I loved this because I thought this was really cool because we're going through so much of our reset with the 21 day and with our soul led, with our pillars. It just spoke to me. So for the heart, this is all your Cancer energy. It's the new moon ritual. So on Wednesday, find a quiet, comfortable space in your home. You're welcome to join. We'll have our new moon up as well. Light a candle, take a few deep breaths. On a piece of paper, we want you to just write down one core intention for your emotional well-being for the next 6 months.
Oh, that's nice. Because we do new moon intentions on a lunar cycle, but
Right.
this is looking at the 6 months, like how are you really going to take care of yourself as we go into the darker months?
Exactly. How are you doing this from solstice, from the summer solstice to the winter solstice?
Solstice.
Or for those in the southern hemisphere that listen, from the winter solstice into the summer solstice. So what do those next 6 months look like? And then I want you to focus on the feeling that you wish to cultivate. What does your ideal inner home feel like? Is it peaceful? Is it vibrant? Is it secure? Is it creative? And keep this paper somewhere you can see it. Maybe a journal prompt. There's a couple here for you. Where am I seeking comfort in a way that keeps me small and avoids growth? And that's almost shadow work journal prompt, in my opinion.
A shadow work has to be said. There it is.
It wouldn't be us without it, right? So there it is. But that's super powerful. Where am I seeking comfort in a way that keeps me small and avoids growth?
That is powerful. Like even thinking about that,
Right? You say it again.
Right.
What am I doing that's keeping me out of the spotlight, right? So, what one responsibility, and this is thinking about Saturn, must I take from my own emotional state to create the safety I crave in Cancer?
That's another good one.
Yeah. What's one illusion or old story about my family or past that I'm ready to release in Neptune?
That's just messy.
You know what, though? There's some pretty effed up families out there. We got it kind of golden compared to some, but
compared to stories we've heard, but
right, but
like everybody can look at their
everybody's got their own thing. But
we got things.
What is it time to be like, why am I owning that? Oh my God, this is so perfect for our 21-day reset. If I'm so excited.
Of course, the energy's now like we tell you all the time that we don't plan all of this
out.
And
No, we just have yeah, it works, whatever. All right. So for the hands, this is your Virgo energy.
Okay.
Grounding ritual. So when the week's emotions feel overwhelming, you're going to want to shift your focus from feeling to doing. So choose one small, tangible task that brings order to your environment. Organize a single drawer. It could be at home, it can be in your office. Weed a patch in the garden. Cook a simple, nourishing meal. Pay one bill online. It's tiny tasks, right? Use the methodical, focused energy of that Mars in Virgo to bring a little order to your physical space. And again, that's going to have a huge calming effect on your inner space.
Yeah, it absolutely will.
Next one, health as a service. Your body is your first home. Mic drop. That's huge for us this week. You have no idea how big that is for us. Oof.
Yeah. This is just heavy.
It is.
And like we said at the beginning, it's This kind of stuff is brutal when
It
it's supposed to
is.
be all shiny and stuff.
Yep. Not everything is shiny, and that's the
This
point.
is the real work.
Right.
Yeah.
There's work. So consider how you can be of service this week.
Yeah.
What is one small practical improvement that you can make to your health or your wellness routine? Because it's not about the grand gestures, but about small, consistent acts of care, drinking an extra glass of water, stretching for 5 minutes at a girl, or preparing a healthy lunch. Stepping away from your desktop for 5 minutes. It's all intentional. It's all taking care of yourself. And that's amazing.
Yep.
And then we've got for the will, which is your Aries energy. So, boundary setting practice. The Sun Saturn square is a powerful call for establishing healthy boundaries. Identify just one area in your life, relationship, work demand, social obligation, where your energy is consistently being drained.
Mm.
I know mine off the top.
I think I know yours off the
I'm
top.
quite certain you do. Hang on, let me drink some water on that.
She's gonna just take a breath with that
Mhm.
one. This work.
All right. All right. So this week, practicing, right? Clear, kind, and firm no to protect your emotional and energetic resources. Remember that a boundary is a statement of your own needs. It's not a rejection of another person. That's honoring yourself.
Yeah, it is.
No is by far the best thing you can ever do to honor yourself. This is courageous action. The Aries energy of the week demands initiative. Identify just one small brave step that can take you forward to a personal goal that has felt really intimidating.
Right.
And this could be sending an email that you've been avoiding, maybe signing up for a class, making a phone call. When's the last time anybody made a phone call, right? The cosmos supports building confidence through action. It's demonstrating to yourself that you're capable and in charge. And I think it's our last one we have is for the voice. So this one is all around Mercury's journey and healing that wounded word,
Oh.
right? Because we got some Chiron in here, or Chiron, I should say. So on Tuesday, we're reflecting on Mercury Chiron square. Big.
Oh yeah. That's
Think
yeah.
if you think of the energy for Mercury
Yep.
and think of kind of that undercover of Chiron,
Mm-hmm.
for lack of a better way to put it.
Yeah.
It's the shadow. Chiron's your shadow. Is there a past experience where your voice was silenced or you felt afraid to speak your truth? We all have that.
Yeah, everybody has that.
And especially right now. I have talked to many people over this last week that feel like they need to be quiet. We don't need to be quiet, right? Take some time to write about it in a private journal because the goal is not to dwell on that pain, but to reclaim the narrative and give your younger self the validation they may not have received. So you are taking a moment to honor that you have come this far and write it down and that you're not that little kid anymore,
Mm-hmm.
that you have to hide it, say yes, do those types of things. It's a lot.
It is a lot. It's a huge amount.
Yeah. And then you're going to step into that spotlight with that because as Mercury moves into Leo, ow,
Yeah.
yeah, you might as well throw a party and forms these trines because we've got all the different trines happening at the end of the week. Awesome time to find an opportunity to use your voice and consciously share creative ideas in a meeting, give a toast at an event of any kind, post something online that you're truly proud of. Practice speaking from this new place of integrated confidence. It's truly where your words carry weight. And it's the weight of your experience, which is which is all of your Saturn, and the light of your vision, which is in Neptune.
So like
Thank you.
yeah, this is just a lot because a lot of times, I mean it is because we're trying to make this more astrologically balanced so you guys
Right.
we just see the energy coming in and what we're moving into, and thank God we're moving into this. But I think a lot of times when people are talking about Cancer and that's all about the home, the family, you often picture your home and like cleaning your drawers and making good meals and loving
Right.
everybody. And it's not just about that. And I think it was really noted in this week's notes about your first home is you.
Your body.
You've got to love you. You've got to take care of you. because that external home, yes, that's part of Cancer too.
Right.
But you need to really honor who you are first.
I totally agree. And it's, you know, that old expression, your body is your temple. And everybody forgets your temple is your place of worship, right? So you need to honor your body.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. It's a
super.
lot. There's a lot there. It's
All right.
good.
So it is, and it's all amazing. So let's honor this with a little spirit moment, though.
Yes.
How did we bring spirit into this? And um, so again, a lot of this is just based on the energy and all the astrology and everything that's kind of coming together.
Yeah.
But have you ever felt like you have been grieving yourself?
Mm.
So that's kind of that draw of that Cancer, that home. And it's not because something dramatic happened, or in my case, maybe it did, but because you're in between versions of who you were and who you're becoming. And that grief isn't just emotional, it's energetic. And lots of times we're not given this space
Yeah.
to say goodbye to that. And I think on this solstice, where all of this energy is naturally available to us,
Yeah.
that is the spirit. It's the spirit of who you were and who you're stepping into. And it very much feels like we are in a liminal space, like we're redefining
Oh
who
my
we
God.
are.
Huge. Every day has just felt like we're on a different, uh, everyone talked, I mean, not everyone, but so many people we're talking to have talked to us about, do you feel the energy? Do you feel the shift? Do you feel like, I mean, we're seeing a little more, hearing a little more, like almost off balance because you're just teetering between two places. I don't know how else to put it,
I don't know
but
either.
it's perfect
I
with
don't
that
either.
solstice because it's just like, all right, dump it, and here we go, or here we grow, as the case may be.
Yeah. And I think that this podcast is like specifically, we're giving you the energy. Everybody knows the energy we just came from. Like we're letting it go, like bless and release.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but this is really the permission to write about that person that you're leaving behind. And that person is the old you. Who were you before you were today? And
Yes.
who are you going to be?
Right.
And you can still bless and release that person. Yes, they're always going to be a part of you,
Right.
but you're changing directions.
Right.
So whisper kind of to yourself, thank you, but I don't live there anymore.
Yeah.
And
oh my God, I should write that on my wall. Thank you, but I don't live
but
there
I don't live
anymore.
there anymore. So
Right?
okay, so let's bring this into the magic moment then.
Okay. So thinking about that, couple ideas for you of just how to balance, maybe make this ritualistic for you. So a thing that's always easy to say, as within, so without.
Tree of life, we all know that one, right,
As
guys?
within, so without.
Yep.
But we'll add this, as you release, so you reweave.
Oh, I like that too.
Right?
I really do.
Release, reweave.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And every time
Oh yeah.
you face that fire, think of yourself as the forger, not that you're failing, because when we hit those moments of fire, it's alarming.
Oh,
We don't want
and what did we just talk about with all the trines coming up and all the fire elements next week?
fire.
It's just fire.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're forging.
Yes, you are. And every breakdown that you have is a spell. Every truth is a ritual. Every single aligned decision is new magic.
Absolutely. That's
Right?
awesome.
It's so true. Don't rush to manifest something new. Just don't. Just light a candle to witness who you are right now and say, this is part of it, and this is the work.
Because it really is.
Yeah.
It really is the work.
And candles are just, I mean, I'm sorry, but almost everything we've done the last 2 weeks, it's amazing because I'm a crystal girl. But boy, there's been a lot of candle magic the last few weeks. Even one,
there have.
but that one ritual that I got, remember, that gave me the sigil and everything with it.
Oh yeah.
It's all fire magic. And I'm like,
Yep.
all right, I got it. Your little phoenix is listening. Check.
Yeah, lots of fire.
Lots of fire. We got fire.
All right.
Oh, solstice. Yeah, because
Yeah.
we just came out of solstice.
Solstice.
Are you going to talk to us about a ritual?
Just the checkpoint.
Okay.
So you can do in 5 minutes, or you can stretch this out over the day. But I think you're probably getting the theme that we really want you to acknowledge what you've burned away. So to do that, there's more prompts, but it's asking yourself what you've outgrown over the past 6 months.
Oh,
And then ask yourself, who am I becoming, even if I don't fully recognize them yet? And let that identity kind of speak back to you. And that will help you kind of build where you're going, who you're becoming, where you want to be. I'm not saying go write a manifestation board,
Right.
right? But certainly. But one bold move, text the person, delete the app, say the thing, choose something that aligns with who you are becoming.
I love it.
Yeah.
I
It's a good one. I
I
like
think
it.
that's a great idea. Yeah, solstice just it's not just about the light.
No. It's not, it is about the illumination
Mm-hmm.
of the reality.
It's clarity.
Yeah, it's clarity.
Yeah. Doing the work. Doing the work. Yeah. All right, because yeah, you got to do that work. I know it's brutal. That is brutal.
Yeah.
So, with that said, I think we got it.
We had a tough week. We're moving into better energy. Hang in there. I will give that to you guys on my birthday.
Right? She'll share the trine. Woo! Everybody's
Yeah.
got the magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gratefully the universe shares that with all of us. She just gets it on her birthday. But a few things to remember we hit on here. One, we have the 21-day journey, and you don't have to start that now. But if you
Mhm.
are really on this kind of reset and some of this really rang a bell with you, it it's something that is already included with our if you're a Nias Town Square member,
Yeah.
it's already included with your membership. So go jump in, right? Do it at your pace, do it at your leisure. If you're not a member, it's only $21, and it is by far the best reset you're ever going to do. It is hard work, but it's amazing. The other thing we'd remind you is I'd mentioned the soul pillars because these things just hit those buttons for us. ImmersiveSpiritLiving.com. We have our it's our soul pillars toolkit. And there's the free tools out there that are going to just help you align with all of this and give you the jump start you need. Free. So start there. When in doubt, go there because right now we're holding the stretch. We're releasing the false and we are stepping fully into who we're becoming.
Even if we don't know who that is yet.
Hell no. But boom, mic drop. That's what we're doing. So this has been High Heels to Happy Feels. I'm Stephanie
And I'm Natalie.
from Immersive Spirit. We're going to see you next week. And next week, we're going to keep this kind of theme going. And we're going to explore what it means to lead yourself when no one else gets it. It's leading from within, becoming the leader that you've been waiting for. So until then, let it burn and then let it bloom.
Love it.
Love it. A little squishy. We'll see you next week.